How the contractors deals with the delays in authorities and municipality approval. In construction projects, the requirement to obtain a third-party approval, consents, and approvals from authorities can be essential for design and construction works to commence and proceed, and its timely obtaining is often critical to progress. The allocation of responsibility for obtaining authorities' approval differs between the different forms of contracts. Delays caused by authorities due to extensive time they take to conduct their approval process are a common issue in this part of the world. In this situation, even if an employer or a contractor does have an express contractual responsibility to obtain authority approvals, is it under an absolute obligation to obtain those approvals, even if it cannot compel the authority to give the necessary approval? Perhaps one of the reasons to have or to issue the letter of intent as early as possible is to mitigate anticipated delays at early start of the projects by allowing the contractor to start dealing with the municipality approvals, permission, etc. at earliest first opportunity possible. Also, delays can be due to changes in municipalities or authorities' requirement, where the contractor shall have a legitimate entitlement to claim for compensation as a change order or variation, including connected thereto time-related cost. Once this kind of a delay occurs in a project, first thing we have to look at is whether the employer or the contractor took contractual responsibility for the delay. This, of course, depends on which party had the responsibility for obtaining the approvals for the works to proceed and the nature of its obligation. Some form of contract does not have express provision for this, but allocating the obligation of obtaining authority approval to the contractor, while the employer shall provide reasonable assistance to do so. However, latest form of contracts such as FIDIC 2017 has adopted absolute obligation, clearly allocating responsibility, time and cost impact in case of failure. Other types or forms of contract provides that if authorities' delay will affect in a way of disruption to the works and the same was unforeseeable prior to entering into a contract, the contractor shall be entitled to a compensation. Depending on how the contract has allocated the obligation, contractor may be able to claim for extension of time and relevant cost. However, that does not relieve the contractor from his obligation to mitigate such delays. Contractor should treat delays caused by the authority in the same way as any other delay and exercise his obligation under the contract to mitigate delays as much as possible. Further, contractor could, as soon as realize of such probable delay, request for employer assistance in this regard. In this way, if there was a possibility to mitigate such delay, it would have been avoided if the contractor does not take his action. It is also recommended that the contractor can have a dedicated team, personnel or PRO, to follow up with authorities on a regular basis for all design and NOC's requirement, not only at early stage of design, if the contractor have design responsibility, but also once awarding the contract and mobilizing to the site. As authority delay are a common in the industry, it is vital for contractors to have best prepared for it through proper documentation, records, notices, notification, or if such delay has already happened, best to take a professional advice from team or expert as those in a project management consultant to handle the situation. If you need help with the drafting, reviewing, or managing contracts, we can help. Click the link in the description for a free consultation and find out how Pioneer can help you today.